hope you both are ready, because we are going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Yeah, let's just see, make sure that they are both on cue.
See, the RTA timer doesn't matter. Even on the leaderboards, we'll do in-game time with this.
that is
so
true.
we'll just go Soulless, go. Alright, so they didn't quite start at the same point, but chances are that won't end up mattering too badly.
That is true.
Okay.
So yeah, this is I'm Live, a game that's not quite that new, but still not that well known, I would say. It is a hidden gem, I would say, at least. It's a really cool game. It's a post-apocalyptic game where the main character is heading home after a disaster and looking for his wife and daughter, basically. And it's a lot like the early Tomb Raiders kind of game, Uncharted. It's a very movement-based game with a lot of climbing and such. So right here at the start, it's not that much going on. We're gonna see a quick stamina game played out between them. You can actually burn your stamina quite a bit right here in the start, since this first part is part of a tutorial where the game is very nice to you and give back your stamina that you lose. The game works that way that you can, when you climb, you will lose stamina, and you can burn your stamina capacity by doing a sprint, basically. And that's not good, of course. We do pick up some items that help you give you stamina back, as well as HP. But yeah, keeping your stamina above the threshold is a very good thing to do. You do want to have 100% stamina at all times. We're gonna see if any one of them goes for the checkpoint resets. Indeed, Soulless go for it, and Colt also go for it. It just saves a tiny fraction of time. But since we use in-game time for the timing, and the timer doesn't run when we pause the game, it's actually kind of fast to just hit pause and reset at checkpoints. Even if it's just a very, very small time save, it still saves the time, you know? They're actually quite synced despite them not being synced up from the start, which is always a nice sign in a race. But yeah, both of these runners is quite new to the community, which is I'm very happy to have them both run this game. I have myself been showcasing this game the last year Fleet Fest, or was it the first one? I don't remember. I did show off the game back when I was mainly the only one running it.
It was at the last Fleet Fest, but the last Fleet Fest was like 2 years ago. Fleet Fest was one of many things that was supposed to happen in 2020, but didn't.
Exactly. So yeah, feels like forever ago. But these two are the second place and third place, so it's gonna still be a very competitive match. They both go for the quick ladder drop. You can skip more than half the ladder, and you can drop down to skip, yeah, about half the ladder, which saves a couple of seconds. I'm gonna go for another checkpoint reset. Both of them is going to do that. And coming up right here on the pillars, gonna see them both attempt a very, very difficult jump. I would imagine both of them going for it. And Soulless got it. It's a very tough jump. It looks so hard. And Colt didn't get it, but it's very precise. It's a super hard jump to do. It's near pixel perfect. I say it's pixel perfect, but it's not quite pixel perfect, but it's very, very tight. So good job, Soulless, for getting that one, which put him in a tiny advantage. And coming up on Soulless screen, and Colt's as well for that matter, is the first real trick in this game, so to say. It's a sequence break that saves about 3 minutes, where we skip 2 cutscenes and a checkpoint. So after we kill the first guy and take his machete, you're supposed to break open a gate, which triggers a checkpoint. But we skip that checkpoint. We skip to break open the gate and go around the building instead by making our way up the planks to the right of the pit and skip over the pit, as we see on Soulless screen.
Yeah, this is one of the first real poggers skips that this game got.
Sure is, absolutely. Just the first real skip. And yeah, it skips 2 unskippable cutscenes. The first one where we really get the plot of the game, where you go into your apartment and take a look at the picture, and you just it triggers the whole "I'm alive" cutscene. But we skip that, and we run straight past our apartment and go straight for the gate, or the what's this? the fence, and the box is not supposed to be there. The box that you step on to get over the fence is normally not loaded in if you do the checkpoint correctly. But the sequence break is messing a bit with the game, so we can actually just jump over it. And we're heading towards the next checkpoint. So right now on Soulless and on Colt, you're supposed to be chasing after a girl that you think is your daughter, that you're looking for. So you are going after her and trying to get to her. Turns out she's not your daughter, so I would be running away from a scary man as well that chases you. But when we reset,
Soulless's game just crashed.
It crashed, yeah. It sure did. But we can see the checkpoint reset at Cold Zero's screen, where we reset the checkpoint at the next checkpoint, and
There we go.
the girl is triggered. I think Soulless is gonna have to start from over there. That's really unfortunate. That's yeah. Imagine if we actually got the checkpoint that we skipped, then he wouldn't have to do this all over. But yeah, that's very unfortunate. The game is really not optimized for today's machines, so yeah, it can crash a lot. I am very lucky that I rarely have any crashes when I do my runs, but unfortunately some have, and Soulless is a very unlucky person when it comes to crashes. So if we take a look at Colt's screen, he is now heading towards the mall with May, the girl that you thought was Mary, your daughter. And it turns out May's mom has went missing. That's why she is all alone. So we're gonna try to help her find her mom. So we're heading towards the mall, mainly because she has a very bad cough, and on the upper floors of the mall is kind of free of the dust that is surrounding the area, so we want to get her to a safe area. And Soulless is making his way slowly but steady. So here we have Colt Zero in the mall, gonna make his way up to the safe spot for May. I'm gonna do the first real climbing area. And just after the climbing area, we're gonna see the first out of many ledge cancels in this game. It's a trick that, as it sounds, you cancel a ledge animation. When you walk or run up to a ledge in this game, you will either drop down and hang from the ledge, or just stare down the ledge and look down. But we can cancel that animation by pulling our gun, which makes us just run out of the ledge. And if we are lucky enough that we don't die from a death plane, we can actually use this trick to get to a point faster than we should be able to. So hopefully we will see that on cold screen very soon.
I won't hurt you.
It's this first ledge cancel though is kind of hard. It's
I have something to show
kind
you.
of specific where you need to be for it to make it work.
What's your name, sweetie?
I'm May.
But it should be fine. He will
I have a daughter on
at least try it once or twice. You can combine it with another strat that was found kind of recently by hitting a hitbox to the left of the ledge and run along the wall to the left on the left side. It is the same speed as not doing it, but it saves taking damage. If you do the normal ledge cancel, you take a small bit of damage, which is usually fine, but if you can skip taking damage, it sure is better.
You and May should be safe there. At least for
So, May, where's your
You
mom?
might hear that voice on the radio now that Solas has gotten to the point of talking to our friend Henry. The voice, if you hear it clearly enough, it might sound a little bit familiar to you. It is in fact Elias Tufexis voicing that character, best known as Jensen from the Deus Ex games, but he's been in many games. Definitely one of my favorite voice actors to watch out for.
I think I dropped out of Discord for an amount of time there. I'm not sure how long I dropped out.
The good spots are
That's no problem, I think I covered it.
Nice. I just realized.
Well,
So yeah, we saw Cold Zero do the ledge cancel first try, which was very good, and it got the fast ledge cancel as well, and the safe ledge cancel by not taking damage. But we will see if Solus can get it as well on first try. So I'm not sure if you heard the explanation for a ledge cancel or not before I dropped out the Discord call. But basically, you just cancel the
Go ahead and
the
do it
ledge
again.
animation.
someone below us. There are generators here. I can recharge my camera batteries.
Gonna see if Solus can get it.
There's a lookout point on the top floor of the mall.
But yeah, on solo screen now as well, every little cutscene with the camcorder in it you can skip, and those kind of cutscenes is among the cutscenes where the in-game timer is still running, so you want to skip those as fast as possible. The only time the in-game timer is not running is when you pause the game. So every skippable cutscene is worth skipping as fast as you can, basically.
Yeah, and we have a rule on the leaderboard saying basically to not abuse that the in-game timer pauses when you pause the game. Just keep going as fast as possible.
Exactly, yeah. So let's see if Solus can get the ledge cancel and the safe ledge cancel as well. He did not get it first try. Will he go for it again? No, he just opted out, which is fine. I always go for it once, and if I don't, just like Solus, I just go for the normal way if I don't get it first try. It's not that big of a deal. It just saves maybe 2 or 3 seconds, but you know,
Why it hasn't been touched.
2 or 3 seconds can
Looks like the building was under construction.
definitely add up. And coming up on Colt's screen, he just entered the construction site, which we kind of recently discovered a very big skip in, and basically a collaboration between Cold Zero and Soullessrun. They both had huge parts in this discovery. But basically, we skip an entire... We are supposed to bring medicine for May, since she is sick with a very bad cough. But we skip that entire area, so we technically never get medicine for May. Which is kind of funny, but also kind of sad. But we're gonna see it very soon. But we are combining that trick with another trick that was made possible with the new skip, which is we skip to get 2 jerry cans, and jerry cans in this game is mainly used for powering up elevators. So we only get 1 jerry can and use it for much later, because we don't need to use them right now since we skipped the entire medicine building. So
Better climb out of the
gonna see that very soon on cold screen.
So Colt just went through a fight. Could you talk a little bit about how the fighting is optimized? Like, I believe there's a specific order you need to kill people in most of the encounters. Just touch on that a little.
Yeah, absolutely. The enemy is kind of scripted in that sense that there are two behaviors that a NPC can have. They can either attack you, or they can just give up when you aim at them. So basically, you always want to kill and shoot the aggressive enemies first. And it's very easy to learn which enemies will give up or surrender when aiming at them, because it's always the same enemies. It's never random. So in this fight, for example, we're gonna kill one guy and we're gonna make the other two surrender, and it's always the same. It's always the same enemies that behaves in a specific way. So it may seem random when you play it for the first time, like, some enemies are actually surrendering and some enemies are attacking me, but it's always the same pattern they have. And right here, if you don't do the jump that way that Colt just did, where you do the jump and grab the ledge, you will trigger a checkpoint, which is normally a very good thing to have, a checkpoint. But we're gonna take that checkpoint on the other way around, and that will make sense very soon. It doesn't right now, but now we're gonna see Colt Zero go for the one of the jerry cans. We could technically skip this area, but it saves time way later in the run. Like at the end of the run, this will save time, this strat. So we're not gonna see the result of this quite yet. So Colt is gonna go for the jerry can right here, and he's gonna go back to where he was and trigger the checkpoint. The reason why he do it like that is because the new trick, that was the big trick, that skips the entire medicine building, is very tricky and very hard to do. It's very easy to fail it. So if you die there and you would get the checkpoint the normal way, you would have to do the whole jerrycan area again every time you fail this skip, which we're gonna see right now. So doing it the other way around is just a safety thing. So what we're gonna see Colt try to do here is gonna land on a very specific spot on the pillar right in front of him. I'm gonna land on a very, very specific spot, and trying to make his way around the pillar to get on a ledge on the left side of the pillar and jump over to the other side of the building. Just like that, and he skipped the entire medicine building, just like that. It's very impressive. Very nicely done. Didn't waste that much time on the skip either. So very nicely done, Colt Zero. And that trick is super hard to do. It's very tough. It's very easy to get stuck in an animation on the pillar, or to just fall down and die. We're gonna see Soulless do exactly the same. He's gonna jump and grab the ledge to save the checkpoint for later. Okay, see if he can get the skip on the first try, or at least a bit faster than Colt did. But Colt didn't die. He never died, so he never got to use the safety checkpoint, which is always good. And yeah, Soulless is catching up a bit. I just read a comment, and it's true, he is catching up a little. He is very fast, Soulless. He has second place on the leaderboard. He is a new runner, but very good. A quick learner, I would say. So yeah, we can see now Soulless, he is running through an elevator that we're supposed to take to get on top of the building and get to the medicine crate for May. But as I said, we are skipping that entire building now. And Soulless actually got it first try, if he doesn't mess up he didn't get the fastest jump at the end, but very impressive to get that first try. That is not an easy task.
Yeah, so is that pathing something that Akion came up with, or did you find that?
I hope May is all right.
That skip is actually Soulless' own creation.
Oh, okay.
He found that one. Me and Akion were searching like crazy for an out of bounds in that building, but Soulless just happened to find the one spot in that building that didn't have an invisible wall. It's just in that corner.
That's fantastic.
So-
Just wanted to give Akion a quick shout out. He's kind of a glitch hunter extraordinaire, and he is in our Discord, and I gave him that role specifically just on a goof, and he definitely helped find some of the stuff that's used in this run.
Akian is a beast in the speedrunning community. He sure is. Never fails to amaze us. So yeah, on cold screen we are giving May the medicine that we never got. And Soulless is making his way there. The crash is not that noticeable anymore. We're gonna see if Soulless will go for the crazy strat at the place where Cold Zero is now. There is a crazy strat you can do that saves a couple of seconds, but it's super tough to do it. It's something I go for if the run is bad or if the run is super good. Like if I'm on a task pace basically, then I go for it. Otherwise I never go for it. It's just not that worth it, in my opinion. Yet at least. So we're gonna see if he tries to do it. And here Cold Zero is gonna do a cutscene skip, which is cancelled by having a guy chase you. An aggressive type of enemy is gonna have to chase after Colt. And you're gonna cancel a cutscene by being in a busy state, which in this case is a combat state. So he's gonna take aim at the enemy and force the enemy back. So the cutscene never plays, because the combat gets priority over the cutscene. There is an unskippable cutscene right there with two guys that is fighting over some food. And we can skip that by being in a busy state, which is really neat. Very nice and very easy skip to do. So we take those kind of skips for sure. And as we are approaching on cold screen, we are approaching a very non-action filled level. And we see Soulless, he is going for it, but he just died. He is going for the crazy strats. See if he will try it one more time. He usually go for it twice, I think. Maybe not in a race though. It looks like he will not go for it the second time, which is very understandable. I do have very much respect that he even tried it once though. It's such a hard trick to do. You need to land on a very specific spot twice in a row to not die.
I don't know, May. I came back to
So
find her.
Cold Zero is just making his way through the endless pit of a collapsed railroad. So indeed risking it for the biscuit. That is very much what Soulless just did. But Colt is coming up to a section with a lot of lots of enemies that we used to almost kill all of them, almost. But we realized that in many places we don't have to kill anyone. Basically, we realized that the AI is not super good, and we can outrun them. So outrunning them, believe it or not, is much faster than having to engage them in a combat. So we prefer to outrun them.
Pacifist run win.
Why is everybody mean now?
Not everybody, May.
Are you mean?
No, I promise I'm not.
So yeah, we see now Colt kill one guy and just making a run for it. They won't chase you or attack you, even if they will just stand and watch you. We discovered.
Don't look down.
And same here, we're gonna kill the two guys with the pistols and just outrun the rest of them. It's very important though that we can line up the two guys with the pistols. That's why you saw Colt walk a bit to the left, so we can line them up. Because if we don't pick up the guns from the guys we kill, the other enemies will pick the gun up and start shooting at you. And at this point, since Colt has I don't think he has healed yet at all. So his HP is not that high. So taking a bullet hit there is not good at all. So it's very crucial to pick up the ammo or the guns that they drop, and he did just fine. He did very good in lining them up. And Soulless is making his way to that point as well. And here we are presented with Henry for the first time in the game.
Car starts to shake.
So we can see him instead of just hearing his sweet voice.
And it's meant to be a bit of a shock, I think, a bit of a jolt when you first meet Henry to know that he is in a wheelchair.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
We're on solid ground.
In the game, I think I remember a line like, how come you haven't
Yes.
made a run for it, or how come you haven't gone out and tried to help save her mother? Because May's mother and Henry are friends. They know each other. That's why we are at Henry. To begin with, May had a walkie-talkie in her hand, and Henry had the other. So they had connection. So our guy keeps asking him, how come you haven't made any attempts? And when you see him, you're supposed to go, oh, that's why. So yeah, he's in a wheelchair. He got hurt. I think the game tells you he got hurt, at least, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I actually listened to the voice lines in this game.
And
So,
by the way,
cool.
the protagonist for the game, the player character, is officially unnamed, but some members of the community have given him a semi-affectionate nickname.
That is true, that is true. He doesn't have a name. He is just labeled as the protagonist, but I don't even remember who at this point, but we did start calling him Bud at some time. So Bud is a name that has stuck and kind of, yeah, it's still there. Bud is our guy. So Colt is running through an area that we are going to get pretty familiar with. We are going to run through this part of the game 3 times out in the dust. So Colt is picking up some stamina items along the way so that we can jog all the way through the end without having to climb above the dust, because that's what you're, like, quote-unquote supposed to do to avoid using your items. You're supposed to climb high up to avoid the dust clouds. But you can just use your stamina items as well. That's not unintended in any way, but we just pick the items up so that we can run smoothly across the field. And coming up is the part that we simply call the ship, mainly because it's a ship, so that could be why. And the ship has gone through. The ship is not as it used to be. We used to do. It used to be quite a long segment because there's so many enemies in such a cramped space. It's not a big area, and there's so many enemies in this place. So there is a super fast strat we can do, but it's so risky. I don't think either one of them will go for it. But the most recent, like, safest strat, we barely kill anyone. We kill the ones that we have to kill and then try to outrun them all and hope for the best that we don't get hit too much, that we can tank through it with the health items that we got. And also, more importantly, we're gonna see a duplication of our arrow, which basically is throughout the game like checks if you have ammo or not, and if not, the game provides you with ammo to help you along the way. So we're gonna shoot an arrow at a point just before a check, and Colt is taking some damage here, almost dying. See if he can. He chose to kill those guys. So he shot his arrow right there to, I would believe, to dupe it right there.
Looks like the signal was coming from somewhere
It doesn't
in the wrecked boat.
have to be in a specific place, as long as you shoot the arrow
There's enough
before
here.
the check.
Probably can just climb up into the
So we're gonna see, he still has 1 hour. Okay, so he picked the arrow up again, so he's still gonna do the normal arrow duping way. So basically we shoot the arrow past the check, but before the check. So then we run past the check with 0 arrows, we pick up the arrow that we shot, and we get a free arrow from the game. Make sense? I hope so.
Yeah, I actually managed to do that in my casual playthrough. I
You
really
did.
had no idea what had happened. I just knew I had 2 arrows. I was pretty sure that was not right. And I immediately shot one of them in a place I couldn't retrieve it.
Oh, Oh, of course you did. Of course you did. So Colt just did a thing that he discovered very recently that I have yet to see in a run. He just did 2 dupes. So he has 3 arrows. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he does at the later state at the hotel with 3 arrows. I have not like gone all in on the 3 arrows yet because I don't really see the points right now for the 3 arrows. But if that is something Colt has in mind to show us, I will be very, very excited to see it. What he plans to, because I'm pretty sure that Soullessrun will go for the 2 arrow strat. And the 3 arrow strat is very new. And you also saw Soullessrun just reset a checkpoint to reset the NPCs. If you don't do that, this ship strat is very not good, because the NPCs, you need to reset them, reset their locations. And Soulless tanks a hit, which is totally fine. And he shoots the 2 enemies. He can tank 1 more hit if necessary. He's gonna load up the arrow. He shot his arrow, didn't kill the enemy. He maybe be body blocked here, yeah. He missed the enemy with the arrow, so which can be fine, but body blocking at that part is very common. It's so many enemies in such small space. So we will see if he can do it this time. Takes 2 shots, just like that, and load his bow, and hopefully hit the guy this time. Yeah, that should be fine. He should pick up his arrow and get the free arrow. Yeah, that's what the current world record that I have do, and that's what we have been doing for a very long time. It's a very neat strat. So it's going to be very interesting to see Colt with 3 arrows instead of 2. See what he have in store for us to show.
We'll try to find a shortcut.
And Colt Zero right now is coming up to the late part of the field trip. The night time where we get the mask. And he shot through the curtain right there, and if you shoot them in a specific order, you won't have to backtrack to get the arrow that he did right now. So Colt right now, since he used more arrows than we usually do, he has 3 arrows and 6 pistol shots. So when Solus gets to that part, he will have 2 arrows and 5 pistol shots or ammo. So yeah, gonna be interesting to see how Colt Zero is going to handle his ammo count. Probably can just blaze through the hotel with no issues with all the ammunition he got. But we will see if Solus can maybe shoot the enemies through the curtains in a little better fashion, or not better, just a small bit faster. A better optimization that doesn't require you to backtrack to pick the arrows up. But yeah, the reason we go to the hotel right now is because that's where May's mother is being held. She is currently a hostage at the hotel. And we, of course, want to rescue her. She is a friend of ours. So we can see Solus is shooting the guy in the corner, is shooting the middle guy. Yeah, he won't have to backtrack because he shot the latest guy, or the furthest away guy with a pistol, which means no arrows to retrieve. So the arrow will be right under him for the second guy. So very nice done by Solus, who is catching up bit by bit, even after a crash and a failed ship attempt. And that's impressive because Colt Zero has nailed everything. Colt Zero is very consistent throughout this run, which is cool to see. Consistency is always key. Solus is a bit of a riskier runner in general, I would say. He is more often risking it for the biscuit, as Ali said before.
It's always interesting to see in a race. Sometimes you'll see entirely different routes. This game's a little too linear for that, but
Yeah,
that's kind of part of the reason you want to have races in a speedrun, just to see different ways of speedrunning the same game, and that's so awesome that we have that here.
absolutely. I agree. It's going to be interesting to see now that Colt has 3 arrows. He still shoots the guys down here. We don't have to do that anymore, but it is much safer, but it is quite a bit slower. So once again, Colt is playing it safer. He opted to kill the guys and pick up the items instead of just kill the one guy or kill the 3 guys and just make a run for it. Don't have to kill them all. But not killing them all is also, if you don't kill them all, we skip to pick up the items. So Colt prioritized the items over to be super fast. We're gonna see if that pays out for him. But yeah, as you said, the game is a bit too linear to have different routes and such, but we are seeing differences in the run already, just because Colt has 1 more arrow than Soulless, so that will make the fights differ a bit. And the fight that Colt Zero is coming up right now can be very memey. We're gonna see if he has any.
Touch on the enemy types wearing the body armor at all, and the special item that can deal with them even more easily than a headshot with the bow?
The body armor is to kill the enemies with the body armor. You have to shoot them in the head, so you have to use the free aiming mechanic in the game. However, in the later game, in the later state of the game, you encounter bodied guards that also has a helmet that you cannot kill. So that kind of gives you a false
shotgun. I'm trying to get you to mention the shotgun.
Oh yeah, the shotgun, of course. You can. The shotgun is a thing in this game that we don't use at all. We don't pick it up in the 80% run. But yeah, the shotgun is a thing that.
I'm at your mercy.
However, even when you play it casually, it is optional to get the shotgun for sure. It's not in the. It's a bit out of your way to get it.
I know one of these runners was trying to route the 120%, and for whatever reason, full completion in this game is known as 120%, not 100%. So maybe we'll see some use there.
Correct. That is a bit I mean, I wouldn't call it annoying, but why not just have it at 100%, right? But 120%, I think, includes some, like, don't eat any meat and stuff like that, like some extra achievements-esque kind of things that you can do to up the percent from 100% to 120. But yes, Soulless is doing very good at Hotel. He is doing the faster way, and even with less ammo, the fight can still be a little bit cleaner than what Soulless did, but all in all, it's very good fight from Soulless. Colt having some issues with this fight that I was talking about can be very memey. The guards can have very unfortunate patterns, walk patterns, where sometimes they don't even want to come up to you at all. They just walk straight by you. And unfortunately, the checkpoints that coming up, that like the end of the hotel, so to speak, require you to kill all the enemies. You cannot leave enemies behind. So even if they don't aggro you, you have to kill them to trigger the end checkpoint and end the hotel split.
Let's go through the subway. There's access to it through the basement of this hotel.
We used the subway tunnels to get to Henry's place the first time. May didn't like it.
And just like that, Colt Zero is out of hotel, with Soulless not that far behind. We did just discover a route to avoid the slow walking with May's mother. We saw on Soulless' screen just now that he just ran through the corridor area, and it's really so much faster than to walk very slowly next to her. It's just a different route you can take. That that does not trigger the walk animation. And yeah, Colt is coming up towards the railroad, the line 4, and is closing in on Henry's, and Soulless is just about to end the hotel as well. The hotel is a very tough split. It's usually what kills my runs the most, just because it's so hard to be consistent at hotel. The different fights can vary so much from run to run. They are very tough fights. So I'm very impressed by both of them. They both have good times. And Colt's run is actually really good. I haven't seen any big mistakes really from Colt. So really impressive stuff. Playing it safer, but also at a very consistent level.
When did people start leaving the city?
I love how you get so far ahead of Linda on this run out from the hotel that you don't even hear her answers to these questions, and yet the protagonist is still just, I mean, of course he is, there's no reason he wouldn't, but he's still just talking like she's there, actually there talking to him.
That is very fun, yeah. It becomes a monologue very fast when you run away from her. It's very funny. Very humoristic too. It's almost a meme at this point where Bud, in our case, is always talking to himself. Poor Bud.
You'll have to light those fireworks someplace near.
And yeah, for the third time, Colt is outside again, running across the field. Approaching the end scene of the game. The area with the final areas. Gonna skip the first cutscene, Colt, just like that, to save the in-game time. The second cutscene that's just like that is not a good idea to skip. It's two cutscenes just like that, but the second one doesn't always work and is also a very known reason for the game to crash. Excuse me. So skipping the second one is not a good idea. But to skip the first one is always fine. We're gonna see if we can do the fast jump to the left side of the pillar, but he couldn't really do it. It's quite a tricky jump to do. Bud usually wants to jump to the right pipe instead of the left pipe for some reason. Even if you are looking straight at the left pipe, he still somehow is getting dragged to the right side. We can see if Colt is going to do the ledge cancel right here. He does, and he succeeds at it as well. And he's probably going to do the second ledge cancel as well to get down. And he is doing the safer way. I like that. It's so dumb to die right there, because right here is a kind of a tough ledge cancel that he does perfectly.
Too high to drop from here.
I have to say once again, Colt is doing very well in this run. He's playing it safe and cool, nice and collected. Nailing all the hard tricks. Because the ledge cancels is not as easy as they seem. The timing for them is quite hard, and also this game is like packed with the death planes, so you can die everywhere from falling. Even in places like you're supposed to fall down or something, can still trigger a death plane sometimes. So death planes in this game is kind of hell on earth. They're everywhere and very unpleasant. So the higher you fall, the more scary it gets with the dust planes. And Colt is right now looking at the last skyscraper in the game, which had the second cutscene I was talking about that could crash the game if you attempt to skip it. And also it doesn't do that much to skip it, so might as well just look at it. Look at the view, the tall building, and say, wow, what a tall building.
Just wanted to touch a little bit on the tortured development history this game had. It went through a lot of different studios and a lot of different permutations before finally coming out. Frankly, it's a minor miracle it came out at all. There have been better stories of triumph over development hell since, in Cuphead, Last Guardian. For a while, this was kind of the gold standard because this could have been just an absolute endless sinkhole of time and resources for the, again, many different studios that worked on it. Instead, they got a game that came out, it mostly got 6s, maybe a few 7s in the reviews, but we like it, and it's an okay game that works just fine, and that's some triumph over development hell, I suppose.
For sure, yeah. I didn't really know the history of the development of this game until I heard from you. And it's very interesting how it took such a long time and went through such troublesome development. But yeah, I always liked this game, even from the beginning when I played it on Xbox Live Arcade. I love the setting.
I love the whole story about this game's development, but it's quite a story that's out there, and it's an interesting one that I'd encourage anybody to look up.
Absolutely, I do agree. But yeah, we're gonna see just now why we did the jerrycan thingy. Because Cold Zero is coming up to an elevator that requires 2 jerrycans, and we already have one. But the neat thing is, if we use the one we have, we can get down to an area which also has one, which is right by the elevator. So we can just use our jerrycan. Wow, what a tall building. I'm sorry, I just got distracted. But yeah, we can use our jerrycan that Cold Zero just did. From way earlier in the run, we still have that jerrycan because we never used it. And we can ride the elevator wee down to a room which is heavily guarded by a guy who just walks at you. And we can take the second jerrycan, and we can take the elevator down, and we can skip the entire building, which is very nice. We don't have to do anything in this building anymore. We used to have to climb all the way up the building and slide down the building and light the fire, like the fireworks that we're supposed to do, but we never light the fireworks anymore because we just skip the building because we have a jerrycan, which we are not supposed to have. So we skip that entire building just like that. It's a very, very cool trick. I think Cold Zero was the one who put the trick that Soullessrun found together with this strat to a whole big skip, which is very, very cool. So Cold Zero is gonna kill that dude and just run past him and just continue to run past every other enemy that is outside. They do have obstructed vision as well because of the fog, so you can kind of sneak by them and just keep running because they don't aggro you. And he is coming up on the last part of the game with Solus not that far behind. Solus is riding the elevator like a good boy. Whee! And he is just behind him. And at this point of the game, Cold Zero is supposed to rescue May once again. She got captured, so we're supposed to rescue May and bring her to her mother and escape from all this with a boat that is supposed to pick us up. So what Colt is going to do here is going to do a sneak kill on this guy, a surprise attack as it's called, to take him down silently, but loud enough for the surrounding NPCs to hear, and you're gonna do the same with this guy, and you're gonna wait for just the right moment for the enemies to go look for the first guy. And they're gonna drop down silently out of vision of those guys. So no need for loud combat in that area, which is very nice. You're gonna break open the gates and go and rescue May. And that's basically it. Now it's just going back to her mother. So that's basically all of it. I'm curious to see if Colt is going for the small ledge walk you can do just above the ladder at this place.
I don't think I can make that.
It saves just maybe 1 or 2 seconds, but it's kind of a cool trick because you walk faster if you walk on a ledge than if you walk next to Mary. Or no, not Mary, Linda, I'm sorry. So at this point, you're just stuck in a walking animation next to Linda. Gonna walk down the stairs, but you can actually walk up this little ledge right there, and that's faster than going down the stairs.
That's Henry's wheel.
So I'm gonna walk along the ledge and drop down and await the final cutscene of the game.
May, we've been looking at...
But still, even after a crash and a failed ship, Soulless is right behind him, so that's very impressive. Soulless, as I said before, is very aggressive in his playstyle. He likes to play it very risky. And as a result of that, he is very fast. And Cold Zero is currently watching the credits, so to speak. So technically the run is over, but as a requirement for the game category we have to show the credit scene with the recorded in-game timer to see the final time. So at this point of a run, you just have to sit down and relax and take a breather, because the in-game timer is still running during the final cutscene, even though we can't do anything. The timer is still running in the background. But yeah, impressive run from both of them. It's not easy to have a good run in a marathon, but both of them did very well. Very nice to see them both represent the game. I'm gonna see what in-game time Cold Zero managed to get. But yeah, you should absolutely go follow both of these runners. Cold Zero is mostly doing 120% runs right now. As far as I know, he has really been getting into that category, and Soulless is more often than not grinding in any percent. So we're gonna see what Cold Zero got for in-game time. He got a 50 minutes and 52 seconds. Oh yeah, and we are number one, I almost forgot. Let's just enjoy, we are number one. And while this is playing, once again, huge shout out to both of the runners, and also a huge shout out to Emerald Alley as well, who has been both a mod for this game and really helped me with the community to bring these two runners in.
Thank you so much. You're so kind.
Always a pleasure.
Alright, so let's see Soulless's IGT, and then we can get both runners in on the call if they like, and can have a few moments to talk about the race. Pity the crash happened for Soulless, but still wound up being a nice competitive race.
Absolutely. Was a very, very nice race to watch.
I guess Soulless actually has the better IGT and must not have counted the partial attempt that happened before the crash.
The in-game timer works in mysterious ways.
Sometimes.
As it really does. So Soulless did get a faster, because remember, a crash doesn't waste any in-game time, so to speak. Like when the game pauses, the timer is not running. So a crash is still a crash, but yeah, the the only issue, like the only time waste, is that you get sent back earlier.
All right, I'm gonna drop out of the call and bring the two of them in if they want to have a moment to talk about the run. The three of you, great job by all concerned.
Thank you so much. You're both happy?
Yeah, I intentionally did slower strats like the 3-0 and stuff because I just wanted to show it off. I could have gone for 4-0, but that's kind of pointless. It really is pointless to go for 4-0, even in the 120%.
Yeah. I haven't seen the 3-arrow strat in a actual run, so it was very, very fun to see the difference between, especially in the hotel rides. The fights can be very different, ammo-wise. And
Yeah.
Soulless, we did make a bet on you crashing. How we feel about the crash? Yeah, very unfortunate.
I mean, it was in a place that I never see a single crash in that place, so that was also really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing you can do about a crash, but it is always very unfortunate. But yeah, you still got a time. What was it? 48 minutes with the crash. So you're still up there for sure.
Yeah,
And
I was trying to do the late mall. That didn't go well, but well, at least I tried.
I respect the attempt at doing the crazy late mall skip. I do, but yeah, Colt, your run was very smooth, in my opinion. You did very well.
I also did slow ship because going for 3-0, I don't think you can do 3-0 with fast ship because then you got to shoot 2 arrows into the thing while the guys are chasing you, and I don't think you have time for that.
Exactly. Yeah. It was cool to watch the different strats at the ship. Because obviously, Soulless, you tried to go for the riskier, faster strat, but you got body blocked once.
It really didn't pay off.
Yeah, but it's so fast if you can pull it off. So very unfortunate. But yeah, anyways, it was very, very fun to watch you guys go up against each other. Hope to be able to showcase it more in the future.
Yeah, final thing I want to say about the 3-0 strat is that I was able to blaze through the room right before Linda. Like the 5 guys who are pin you in the hallway.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah,
I was able to shoot all 5 of them.
That was that. Yeah, for sure. That's very fast. That's the upside of doing the arrow strats for sure. To do a fast hotel, it's very fast, very clean. But yeah, do you have anything else to say?
Well,
no.
I have to say though, I was really happy that I was able to do the pillar jump at a bridge.
Oh yeah, you got first try. Yeah, you did. I almost forgot.
It was really nice.
You did get first try. That was almost unbelievable to get that in a marathon.
I was going to that part and I was like, wouldn't it be funny to do this? Well, basically a frame perfect jump on a street.
Yeah.
It would be pretty cool. It happened.
Very fun.
Yeah, I did try for that. I did get it. I did get
you got it like 4th try or something. Yeah.
Really random.
For sure. But both of you went for the.
I usually miss.
True. But both of you went for the safety checkpoint, but none of you needed to use it, so that was kind of fun.
So we both did it to the first try.
Yeah, you did. You did. It was very impressive.
That's nice.
Very impressive. Such a good
Well, I
race.
kind of
both of
walked
you.
around a bit because they kept on like not landing on it because of the way I do it. But I didn't actually die or anything.
That's impressive because I always get stuck when I do that specific strat. I always get stuck on the pillar. So very impressive to be able to pull that off. It's such a hard trick. It's much harder than it looks like for sure. So yeah, cred to both of you for nailing that one.
Thanks.
But yeah, I don't really have anything else. So if you don't have anything else as well, I could just throw it back to Emerald Alley and call it GG from here.
Yeah.
Okay.